Let me ask you something. Do you feel like no matter how much traffic you drive to your website and funnels, you just can't seem to convert? Whether it's running ads, posting on social media, creating content, you have people showing up, but not enough of them are actually taking that next step. Whether that's signing up, booking a call, hitting that buy button. Look, the truth is, most business owners don't have a traffic problem. They have a conversion problem, meaning people are finding them, but they're just not taking action. They're not opting in. They're not booking a call. They're not buying the thing. And here's the most frustrating part. You're probably a lot closer than you think you are to fixing it. You just need a clear system to spot what's not working and how to fix it. And that's the biggest thing that's missing for business owners and entrepreneurs online today. Everybody wants to show you their magical system, their perfect funnel for getting booked calls and sales, and this thing that's going to convert so well that it's going to completely change the way that your business operates. But when that doesn't work, when you execute it to the letter and it doesn't work, then what? Who's there to help you? Who's there to get it back on track and find out where you went wrong and what changes you need to make to get that to convert? And that's what I'm going to walk you through today. I'm going to show you my simple converts framework that I use to systematically diagnose conversion problems and optimize the entire customer journey. So you get more conversions out of your ad spend, your emails, your funnels, and really any other marketing activity that you do. When marketing campaigns aren't working, most people think, I just need more traffic or better traffic. But more traffic to something that's not working, that's just more people not buying. Sometimes the fastest way to grow your business isn't necessarily about finding more people, but doing a better job converting the people that are already in front of you. Look at it like this. Let's say you had a funnel that barely converts at all. Let's say it's 2%, and you're getting 1,000 visitors to your funnel every month, and your conversion rate is 2%, so that's 20 customers. But if you can increase that conversion rate to just 4%, you've now doubled your business without spending an extra cent on marketing or working any harder. That's 40 customers from the exact same traffic. Now, imagine you can make a series of small changes and optimizations that could increase your conversion rate to 10% or 20%. Now you're in an entirely different ballgame. So before you go throwing out a funnel that doesn't convert just to spend a month building something new, use my converts framework that I'm going to show you here in this video to make sure you're not stopping 10 feet short of gold. And I'll leave a link in the description for you down below so you can download a copy of the Converts Quick Start Guide so you can follow along as you optimize your funnels and your entire customer journey. But before we dive into that, let's take a minute to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that I see business owners make when they try to improve their conversions. These are super common, and honestly, if you've done any of these, you're not alone. Most people do. The problem is they feel like progress, but they rarely, if ever, move the needle. So the first one is the more traffic trap, right? This is a big one. You're not getting sales, so your first instinct is, I just need more people to see my stuff, assuming the only answer is more ads, more content, more everything, without fixing the leaks in your existing process. It's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You might feel busy, but you're just burning money and energy without fixing the real problem, right? The second biggest mistake is random acts of marketing. This is where you start tweaking things at random, changing button colors and rewriting a headline and moving sections around because you heard it worked better for someone else or it just feels right. But without a plan or a way to measure if it actually helped, you're just guessing. That's not a strategy. That's throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping that it sticks. And the third one is copycat marketing. Okay, you see what a competitor is doing, and so you just copy it without understanding why it works, or in some cases doesn't work, for that competitor's specific audience and their offer. Now, I see it all the time. You see what someone else in your niche is doing, and you think, well, if they're in the same niche, if they have the same customers and it's working for them, I'll just do the same thing. But here's the thing. You don't know why it's working for them, or if it even is. You don't know what works for their audience, the way they talk with their audience, their messaging, their offer, and their brand. What works for them may not work for you. You need a process that helps you figure out what works for you, not just try to mimic what someone else is doing. And listen, again, if any of that sounds familiar, it's okay. These mistakes are common because nobody's really handed you a roadmap. Nobody talks about what to do when things aren't going well. Okay, but now you're about to get one. So let me walk you through the exact framework I use to find the leaks, fix them, and help business owners just like you turn more of your traffic into actual customers. It's called the Converts Method Framework. And once you learn it, you'll know exactly what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to finally stop guessing. So let's break it down. C is for customer journey audit. Before we change anything, we need to understand how people actually find you, what path they take, and where they drop off. We look at your entire customer journey from their first engagement with you, a click, a video view, a podcast download, whatever it is, all the way to the sale. And there's really two steps to this, okay? The first is to identify your ideal customer journey. Okay, this is the one you want them to take. The customer journey that you've strategically mapped out and planned out to make sure that your audience gets exactly what they need to become a lead and your lead gets what they need to become a customer. So you need to map this out and identify it if you haven't already. So that's step one. Step number two is mapping out the customer journey your leads and customers are actually taking. Okay, so we use tracking tools to help us find this, right? To help us identify and track this. But it's important to see how people are actually interacting with your business. And if it is different from what your ideal plan is for them, how can you direct them to the proper path? Or how can you make sure that the path they are taking is optimized to give them what they need to convert? This step is really important and it's where you start because it shows us where the gaps are between the experience you designed for your customers and what they're actually experiencing. Just because you designed that customers would go here and click on this and open this email and go here, it doesn't mean that that's how they actually behave. Okay, so that's the first step. The next step is O, and it's for offer optimization. In this step, we take a hard look at what you're selling and more importantly, how it's positioned. Your positioning is how you present your offer in a way that makes your audience say, yes, this is exactly what I need. It's not just about what you're selling, it's about how you frame it so it instantly clicks with the right person. Is your offer crystal clear? Does it have a clear, compelling, big promise? How is it different from what they're doing now? What's the unique mechanism that's responsible for delivering the results that you promise? That's positioning. Sometimes just tweaking how you present your offer can make a massive difference. Sometimes you need to adjust your pricing strategy or restructure your offer entirely to align better with what your audience really wants. A big mistake business owners make when they look at a funnel that doesn't convert is not considering whether their offer is the problem. And I get it. You worked hard on your offer. It hurts to find out that maybe this, your baby, what you built is not what people actually want, but it is something you have to consider. And again, 9 times out of 10, it's not that you have a bad offer. It's just that it isn't positioned correctly. And I have a framework to help you fix that too. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. Now, moving on to N, which is for nurturing. So many people leave the nurture system, your email sequences, out of the conversation when you're looking at conversion rate optimization. But this is where you can make up a lot of ground, right? This is all about how you nurture a lead to become a customer and a customer to become a repeat buyer. So do you send them a bland newsletter email once a week and sprinkle in a sales promo every month or two? Or do you have a dedicated email sequence strategically designed to give them quick wins and build the trust they need to actually convert? We want to make sure that we have a sequence that covers each of the 3 buying triggers, okay? Gain, logic, and fear. Each email is going to lean on one or more of these triggers, but the point is that you have to be able to show what strategic purpose each email serves in your sequence, right? How is it going to move them closer to where they need to be in order to convert? Some people need one email. Some people need many. So that's why we make sure your 30 to 60-day sequence is optimized for both types of leads, right? We also look at what you're doing to nurture existing customers to ascend your value ladder or become repeat buyers because the easiest sale is often somebody who's already bought from you. And it's not about burning everything down and starting fresh, but looking at what emails have led to conversions and identifying why and how we can use that in other areas to shorten that conversion window, right? All right, moving on to V, which is for visuals and user experience. Let's be real. People do judge a book by its cover. Yes, ugly funnels can convert. There's always going to be that guy that says, look at my funnels. I have ugly funnels and they convert great. It's fine. It's fine for them. But the same funnel built with a better user experience and a better design is likely going to convert better, okay? If your site looks clunky, loads slow, or is hard to navigate, especially on mobile, people bounce. It's not about having the fanciest design. It's about clarity, trust, and ease of use, right? If your visuals and experience feel solid, people feel more confident saying yes. That's just the cold hard truth, right? All right, the next one, E, is for engagement points. These are your calls to action, right? The buttons, forms, links you want people to click. Are they clear? Are they visible? Do they say something compelling or just submit, right? We optimize these interaction points to make sure that people actually do the thing you want them to do. And again, sometimes changing a button from submit to saying, do the thing I want you to do now or get this result now can make a big difference, right? I couldn't tell you the number of times that I've been doing a conversion optimization audit for a client just to find a form that doesn't work, or an embedded checkout that doesn't always load, or broken links. Sometimes it's really obvious, but we need to take the time to look periodically to make sure everything works, not just checking it at launch and then set and forget. It's the internet. Sometimes things will work today and in 3 months it magically just doesn't work anymore. Whatever systems you're using got updated. It's really, really common. Even small tweaks here and there, like changing a button from learn more to get the free guide, that can sometimes lead to some pretty surprisingly big difference in conversions. You've got to make it easy for people to take action. And this is where you can use heat mapping tools to really get some of this useful data. You can see how people are interacting with your site. Where are they clicking? Where are they getting lost, right? Now, R is for reduce friction. We look for anything that's slowing people down or making things harder than it needs to be. Anything that makes someone pause or worse, leave. So we hunt down anything that makes it difficult or annoying for people to move forward. Slow loading pages, confusing checkout processes, forms that ask for way too much information, and steps that just don't need to be there, right? That's a big one. You should always be looking to reduce the number of clicks that a lead needs to make. Every extra step is a chance for somebody to leave. Our job is to remove those roadblocks, give them the shortest possible path. There should never be a step in your customer acquisition journey that doesn't absolutely need to be there. Now, T is for test relentlessly. This is where we stop guessing. Based on everything we've learned, we make educated decisions based on the data and about what changes might work better. And then we A/B test them. We let the data tell us what actually improves the results. It's like testing two different headlines to see which one gets more clicks, or two different price presentations to see which one drives more sales. We run all these endless small little experiments to see what performs better, and we let the audience tell us what works, okay? No more wondering if something works. We'll know for sure, and more importantly, we'll know why it works or why it doesn't work. And finally, S is for scale the winners. When a test shows us a clear winner, we don't just celebrate. Well, we do, but we also implement that winning change everywhere it makes sense. I've seen people split test ads or headlines, find the new one that works better, and then they change it in that one spot, only to realize that later in their funnel or their customer journey, they're still using the old messaging. They only updated that one step. So we need to use the data and take what we've learned and apply it to the entire customer journey, right? To make sure that those improvements boost conversions across the board. And then we look for the next thing to optimize. And what this does is it creates a cycle of continuous improvement that compounds over time. And that is how you scale sustainably. So that's my converts method framework. Let's take a quick recap. Customer journey, offer optimization, nurturing, visuals and user experience, engagement points, reduce friction, test relentlessly, and then scale the winners. It gives you a system to follow so you're not just making random changes and crossing your fingers. You're making smart moves in the right order based on what's actually happening in your business. So go ahead and download that framework from the link in the description and start working through. If you found this valuable, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new weekly video strategies that come out that help you improve your conversion rates and ultimately grow your business. And if you're serious about improving your conversion rates and you want my help implementing this framework in your business, there are two ways I can help you. The first is with a conversion optimization audit, where I go through your entire customer journey from A to Z, show you where your choke points are and how to fix them. The second is with my 90-day Converts Method Accelerator, which starts with the audit, and then we work together weekly over the course of 90 days to increase conversions across the board. dialing in every ad, every funnel, every follow-up email. We fix the choke points, split test the changes, and of course, we scale the winners. So links are in the description for everything. Now stop guessing and start converting.